You know what we are? Carriers. Just like Typhus Annie. It's Jim Bludge. It's got to be a nut.
So what do you got against horses?
Not horses. This horse. Blue Murder. What's in the name, huh?
I couldn't let them shoot him. It wasn't his fault.
You know what I feel like? One of the Four Horsemen, and I don't mean the Four Horsemen of Notre Dame. You know, the...
Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse?
That's it. Killers, just like this one.
Death rides a pale horse, not a blue-black. Want me to quote you from Revelations?
Can I stop you?
St. John had a vision. I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. See? A pale horse.
Thanks a bunch.
Anyway, Jim Bludge knows what he bought, and he's not worried. So what's the big deal? He got himself a $25,000 stud horse for $5 grand. Now, that sounds pretty smart to me.
He bought himself a $5,000 funeral. That's what he bought.
Don't look at me. There, now, is that so hard? Would you rather go on pounding? You like parties?
Hell is other people. That's what hell is.
Tuh. What kind of attitude is that? How do you expect people to warm to you if you don't warm back? Oh, times there I wonder about you, Cam. Whether you're just too stupid for any use or so smart you don't want anybody in the world to have any suspicion how smart. My husband. Your brother Jim? There's not many things he loves. He's a taker, you know, Cam? You know the difference? But he loves you. He's always at me. Be nice to Cam. Would you like that, Cam? He'd listen to you if you'd ever get up the gumption to talk.
About what?
All this foolishness about the horse. You think I don't know? I've been asking around. I know he threw away $5,000 on that animal. You know how much $5,000 is, Cam? You know what you could do with that much? Why, a person could go to New York and buy all kinds of things. Soft things, pretty things, the latest fashions from France, and a person could see all the Broadway shows. I guess that would make her the most desirable woman in the valley. And you could do all that, Cam. He'd listen to you if you told him that Blue Murder was a killer and dangerous like I hear. Then maybe he'd turn around and sell him to somebody who maybe didn't know. And he'd take me to New York for a week just so we could shop and say we'd been to see all the shows. Be nice to you? Why? You're stupid.
Blassie! Hey, Blassie! Party's no fun without you. Come on.
I'll get Frank to do it. Hey, Frank, how'd you like to do Blassie a favor?
Name it.
You stay out of this, Frank. You want your husband to send that horse back, you go ask him yourself.
You think I'm scared to?
Come on, Blassie, buy a drink.
Frank! Stay out of it.
Stick to your forge, brother. Just stick to your forge, okay?
What do you think? Mexican silver, Spanish leather, all hand tool, hand beat. That's the way, isn't it, Blasi? The best. Everything the best. Boots, butter, women.
I was just out back talking to Cam.
Why don't you stop needling him? You act like he was some kind of a bug on a pin or something. It's okay, maybe he doesn't talk much. But he knows who's laughing at him. He knows a lot more than you give him credit for.
Well, maybe you'd be happier if I'd have married Cam. Oh, you ought to take your own advice about laughing at people. Just then after you kissed me, you were laughing at me. You know how serious I take kissing.
We'll see.
Oh, no. You can't make up just like that. Besides, I'm mad at you.
About what?
Is it true he killed a man?
Who killed a man?
That silly, wasteful horse you're buying, Blue Murder.
I guess what it is, Blasi, what's got you all mixed up, is his having that name, Blue Murder.
Just the same, I want you to send him back.
Send him back. Look, honey, a horseman like me and a fella talks to horses like Cam, we'll handle the situation. Anyway, you worrying about me. I like that, Blasi. I like that a whole lot.
No. I can't kiss you. I'm too full of worry about that terrible horse.
Bludge? Do you want us to put him somewhere else, somewhere where there aren't so many people?
Got you scared, huh, kid?
I've seen him in action.
Jim, sell him back. You'll take him back, won't you?
You got something for me to sign?
All right, folks, now spread out. He's just liable to try and sunfish all over the place.
Frank, stop him.
When I was 10 and he was 15, he taught me not to try.
Jim?
Inside of a week, honey, you'll be riding this stud all over the place. Hills and everywhere.
Back. Come on, back. Back. Back.
Hold it. Skin to skin. That's how you do a stallion. Let him feel you. Let him get the heat of a man. Oh. Easy, pal. Put it out.
out of here, Jim Bludge, right this second, before he makes a dark spot in the dust out of you.
Did you see him go? Like a thunderbolt in the britches.
Whoa now, whoa, boy. Easy, boy. Whoa, boy.
Oh, I love him. Tomorrow, we go again.
You say so.
Now, how about a little serious drinking, folks, while Cam and I bed him down? A drink for every bruise, huh? How's that sound? Frank, you take over till I get back. Blasi, you see those two young fellas get some steaks. Rare. Raw.
I'd never have guessed. It's not like you can reason with him. Like you can say to him, now listen, Jim. There's only one way. His way. I'm Blossom.
I could have guessed. Well, there's a fragrance.
I knew a boy once named Larry. You talk like he did.
Is that good?
Larry should have been a minstrel in the days when there were kings and courts and fair ladies. What's your name?
Todd Stiles. Isn't anybody interested in mine?
Not especially. What was that? Frank! Frank, go see what's keeping them. I thought I heard...
What happened? Cam?
Steel toe of the shoe is up, the cork end's down. No outlash of heels here. It was a 4-foot crush, Jim's chest. A deliberate attack aimed head on, while he reared up high like he did out in the yard. His red devil eyes full of bloodlust. Oh, murder. That's what you brought in here, all right. A pair of you. Hey! No, don't touch it. Wait till Doc Martin gets here. You may be all broke up inside like poor Jim was. Wait till Doc Martin gets here. Flossie! No, get back. You mustn't see.
Jim!
No, that's Cam. He's hurt bad, but still alive. Jim's dead.
Take it easy, Cam.
Cam, you all right? You oughtn't go moving around like that, Cam. You maybe got a concussion. No, Cam, you can't find him. Now it'll be dark soon. We'll hunt him down first thing in the morning.
Cam, wait for me!
Blossie! No, Blossie, come on back. You don't want that gun.
No! No! You don't see Cam standing around wondering what to do. He knows. An eye for an eye.
All in good time, Blossie. That's the way it is. We'll get him. We can't afford to have a wild animal running loose like that the first thing tomorrow morning.
No! No! He killed my husband. He killed Jim.
Blossom.
I won't have that animal left alive another second. You hear me, Frank? I won't. I won't.
Come on. I'll take you up to the house. Come on. Oh, Flossie.
You knew what he was, and you brought him here anyhow.
Flossie, come on. Come on. Come on. Bring Jim up to the house.
You were right. Jim Bludge bought himself a $5,000 funeral.
Oh, come on, Todd. I was just kidding you. You can't blame yourself for that.
You weren't the one that saved Blue Murder. You weren't the wise guy that stepped in front of all the rifles and said, now, wait a minute, you hotheads. You can't shoot that horse. It wasn't his fault. It was animal instinct, self-preservation. That cowboy there, that Pete Johnson with his head bashed in, he was chain-whipping him.
He was. You saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, but if I'd just walked away and let them do what they wanted to do, this wouldn't have happened. That big guy, that Cam, he went after him with a hammer. Boy, a lot of good that's gonna do. Look, I don't want him on my conscience, too. That horse has got to be killed. I guess I'm the one that should do it.
That's right, Blossie, cry.
I can't.
I know I can't believe it either. Well, and don't rush. It's tomorrow to grieve. Just let it come when it will.
Frank, I can't be alone. You remember when you were courting me how it was? The nights we went dancing at Mill Crossing, how I never wanted you to take me home.
I know. That's what fooled me, Blossie. I thought I'd won you, even with Jim having more money and property than I had. But then you let him do the same thing. You never wanted him to take you home either.
It's always been like that with me. Long as I can remember. Even when I was little, I had to have somebody to hold my hand.
You've got me, Blossie. You know how I've always felt about you.
I won't lie to you, Frank. Doesn't much matter where I find him, so long as he's mine.
You're not that kind of woman, Blossie.
You're nothing like Jim, are you? Same blood, but not like Jim. You don't know me like you say you do. You only see what you want to see. Jim knew me. Like the sight of his own face. Every flaw, every wrinkle. He knew too much, Jim did. You know too little. You know the worst part about dying? The ones left behind who have to pack up the hairbrushes and the suits and the old pills in the medicine cabinet. Don't listen to me. Don't ever listen to me. Just hold me. Hold me.
Frank.
Don't worry, Blossie. I won't ever leave you. Not now, ever.
Oh, Frank. Oh, Frank, these fellas don't want to wait till morning. They're asking about horses.
Look, fellas, I'm sorry I said what I did down at the stable. Nobody was doing much clear thinking then. Anyway, it's not your fault any of it, so you don't have to go after him.
We think we do, Mr. Bludge.
Okay, then. We'll catch up with you sometime in the morning. It's not going to be all that easy, you know, running him down. There's a world of country out there. It gets pretty hot. But if you want to take out after him now, I'd be obliged for that. Let them pick their own horses, Johnny, and give them some gear.
Right, Frank, I'll take care of it.
Thank you.
Come on, Frank.
And I don't see anything. No tracks.
Well, you know what the Indians do when they have to decide which fork in the road to take? They flip a coin. Look, there's a lot of places I'd rather be than in this saddle, so if I kid it, don't let it bother you. It eases the pain.
So go ahead. Flip the coin. Heads we go straight, tails right.
We go right.
Morning. I was just going for a swim, but now that you two rode in, I'll have to change into a suit. Everybody rode off without a word, left me alone. Want to go for a swim? We have a nice pool.
Some other time, maybe. When did they ride out?
I wouldn't know. Nobody consulted me. Did you get that horse? Don't worry. Cam will. You might as well enjoy yourself. I'll be right out.
Did the cook ride with the rest of them?
What makes you think we have a cook?
Are your hands and the length of your nails?
Just like Jim. Know everything.
There's a widow who's really mourning.
Look, there's no sense you're coming along. You're gonna be sore enough from the ride last night. Why don't you stay here and get some breakfast and relax? I'll come back when it's done.
Thought you'd left.
Oh, I have a few hobbies, like breakfast. You mind if I take over?
You didn't strike me as the kind who'd ask.
Like Jim?
Like Jim. Looking for something special?
Nothing I can't find.
What other hobbies do you have besides breakfast?
I collect things. Important things like sundials and totem poles and bagpipes and dental drills, you know? There's a well-worn start to most conversations. It goes, this is none of my business, but...
Why aren't I lying in a pool of tears crying over Jim the day after he was killed? Instead of sitting out here sunning myself and talking to a boy, is that it?
Yeah, that's part of it.
Well, what I felt for Jim and the way I choose to grieve him, that's none of your business.
I think I'll go in the kitchen and clean up the mess I made.
No. Don't go, please.
That's more reason than ever. You're shaking. Is everything all right?
Tell me something, you with all the answers. Will I ever find someone I can love who'll love me as much as I love him?
Sure. Any man. Before I got back to them, I met them coming down.
We heard blue murder back in the brush up by the lake. We dismounted, spread out, went in after him on foot. We heard one shot, a lot of crashing through the trees, and nothing. We found Frank in a thicket. It was so dark in there, I don't guess he could get a clean shot. He never had time for a second. Spine is crushed. Same kind of attack. Rearing up and driving home with those 4 feet. Leaving a mark of the shoe just like the other.
What we better do now is get every last man in this valley and go about this thing right.
We'll get Scotty's plane and spot him from the air. If we're lucky, maybe we can shoot him from there.
Anybody with me gets to that stallion, I'll kill him. So help me, I'll wring his neck with my bare hands. Any man but me touches that animal, he's as dead as my brother Jim, my brother Frank.
been sleeping?
Oh, I thought you'd never wake up. I came in at least a dozen times to see if you were still breathing.
I gotta go out.
No, Cam, please.
I gotta go get this stack.
Not now. Tomorrow when it's daylight. I get crazy when there's a storm. I can't stand it.
You can stand it. Not a lot more.
Cam! Jim's gone and now Frank. One disaster on top of another. My whole life emptied out since yesterday. All I got left is you.
Poor dumb me.
You're not. You're strong. Stay with me.
Box of apples. Do you remember?
It was a long time ago.
Not so long ago that I forgot.
I was young or foolish. Anyway, when you came courting, I thought it was because Jim and Frank were and you felt you had to.
I didn't have no fine ranch like Jim. Didn't have no business in Mill Crossing like Frank. Is that why you laughed at me, Blossom?
I laughed at you because you brought me a box of apples. And my pa, the biggest apple grower in the county.
Well, that's all I had. And you laughed. I remember you run away and you laughed all the time.
Cam, I got the ranch now and the buildings too. We can share it all. It'll be ours. Only stay with me, please.
Now, see, listen to me. Being alone, I know how terrible that can be, but there's something I gotta do before I can come back. Just one night. That ain't too much to be alone. All my life I've been by myself. Till now.
That fall, I was a second semester sophomore. Now, that was the year I had a chance to be remembered forever at Yale and blew it. Maybe if I'd been a senior, I would have listened to McGraw, but I told you about McGraw, didn't I? The captain of the Yale fencing team, second place senior in the Olympics. Oh, that was McGraw. Anyway, I was on the foil team, and this traveling opera company came to the college to ask if any of the guys on the fencing team would like to be dress extras at a performance of Tristan and Isolde that night at the Civic Auditorium. The only pay you were going to get was that you could be backstage and see the opera for nothing, so we said sure. And we went down and they gave us one of these Viking outfits, you know, with the helmets, with the horns, and the bearskin suit and the sandals, and we carried spears around stage in the first act. Well, I was watching McGraw. He had kind of a funny look in his eye. You know, he was well, kind of a star already, you know, with the Olympics and all. And he said he was humiliated, debased, he said, because he wound up as a plain, ordinary spear carrier. So anyway, we were picked, the two of us, to appear later in the show, a second time. It was in the last act when all the stars were spread out all over the stage in various positions, a-dying, but they were still singing loud enough so they shook the rafters. Anyway, McGraw and I are supposed to come on from backstage left and engage one of the stars. I think it was the basso. It might have been the tenor, I don't remember. Well, anyway, we were supposed to engage him in a duel and with these prop swords, and the director says, now give me a lot of clackety-clack, and then while he's cutting us up, he's supposed to drive us off stage. So our big moment comes, and we come on the stage, and we start with the clackety-clack, and we're dueling, and he's driving us off stage, and McGraw says to me, Todd, this guy is a bum. He doesn't even know how to hold a sword. Let's give him a lesson. So we do. We drive him right back on stage. Well, he gets so excited, he drops a whole sequence. The conductor has the orchestra repeat the passage, but he misses the cue again because he's whispering us, get off the stage. So McGraw says to me, we'll drive him right across the stage and right up the center aisle, right through the audience. He says, Todd, people will talk about it for years. They'll never forget the two guys from Yale on the fencing team that broke up Wagner. Well, right then I got chicken. I mean, I knew we'd be expelled for sure, but I had to do something. So I turned on McGraw and I started dueling with him. Well, he got so mad I thought he was going to run me through. But he forgot all about the basso and he chased me off stage and they went on with the show. Yeah. That was the night I had a chance to be famous and blew it.
You want a fresh drink?
No, this one's fine, thanks.
Want to try another place?
No, it's okay.
You run out of stories?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
But you want to hang around, huh?
How can I go?
Well, you can get in the car and turn the key. It's pretty tricky, but it might surprise you.
2 men, Buzz. Jim and Frank on my shoulders. Inside my head every time I think or move or see. 2 guys dead because of me.
Well, that's one way to look at it. There's a couple of dozen others. There's Cam, the brother, lays it on the line, hands off. And there's those other ranchers that say, get back to Idaho, fast. You want to stay here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to stay. Till Blue Murder's dead.
Okay, buddy. Shoot.
The morning we left the Owens Ranch, did the blacksmith come?
I don't remember. We went to town first. Maybe he came when we were gone.
I think I'll call Mr. Owens and ask him.
sky, you devil. Quicker, you stud horse. Tomorrow they're gonna get you. They're gonna shoot you from the sky. They can have you tomorrow, the dumb fools. I got you tonight. Apples, huh? A box of apples to snigger at. Whose girl are you now?
Too late, Cam.
Look, Buzz, I was right. Look at his feet. Fresh as a yearling. One shoe, the other's freshly parent for shoeing. Who knows? The one shoe Cam managed to get on before we got here may have been the same one he used to kill his brothers. He must have hated them both pretty bad. Or loved her far too much.
I don't know if Mr. Owens will buy him back at any price. He's a pretty sharp horse trader, but I'll see what I can do.
I don't need the money. I'm just about the richest girl in the county now. I can fly to New York anytime, buy whole closets full of clothes, see all the shows.
Well, if he does make an offer, it'll probably be around $2,500. I'll see if I can get him to come up some.
I'll give him to you.
No, Blossom, I couldn't take him.
That way you wouldn't have to go, now would you?
I'll call you from Idaho as soon as I get there. Let you know what Mr. Owens said.
You'll never come back, I know.
Blossom, even if I wanted to, this isn't the time to talk about it and plan it. So soon after what's happened.
It's the only time. I can't be alone. Once you go, I'll have to find somebody else, and I know he won't be half as nice as you.
Goodbye, Blossom.
This has been a Screen Gems film presentation from Columbia Pictures. Herbert B. Leonard, executive producer.